Hi everybody, I'm Diane Brady. I'm backstage here at the Under 30 Summit in Cleveland with the Peter McGuinness, President and CEO of Impossible Foods. Peter, good to see you.
Good to see you.
I like the hat.
And I'm over 30.
You're over 30. You know what? We're here to honor the over 30s who used to be under 30. And one of the things I love about you came in as such a long-standing, much celebrated marketer. You've been there almost 2 years. Has it been everything you dreamed of and more? It's been a tough time.
And then some.
And then some.
It's been a dream. No, I think, look, when you get a new job, it's never exactly what you thought it's going to be. This may be a little bit,
worse than you thought it would be?
Maybe. Not worse, more challenged, I think. And I'm up for a challenge. So, and that's why they call it work. It's not supposed to be easy.
Okay, so what was the challenge? You came in knowing, I'm trying to remember that Super Bowl commercial where there was a little kid. This is the plant-based food, and they were looking at the ingredients, and they were trying to pronounce methyl cellulose. Was that the problem? What's been the challenge of the category, not just Impossible Foods?
I think, I've been there almost 2 years, so the category was growing when I came.
Right.
But it was starting to plateau and decline a little bit, and now the category is in decline, and it's okay to admit it and not be defensive about it and not take it personally.
Yeah, your body language is very open
and that's okay. It's really not about whether it's declining or not. It's about what we're going to do about it, right? And so I think there are a couple things. Number one, the category is very small, and it's in its infancy.
Is that a surrogate for elitist? What does he mean by small?
Small.
Why was it small?
It's a narrow market, and I think yes, some of that is residue and hangover from how it was originally packaged and positioned. Right? It was kind of viewed as bi-coastal, elitist, academic, scientific, tech. In the end of the day, it's food, right? You don't eat technology.
Scientific
it's
and
food.
tech are not good ways to promote a burger.
You want delicious food,
yeah.
right? Now that happens to be zero cholesterol, so it's better for you. It happens to be not killing animals, and it happens to be better for the planet. Less water, and a lot more GHG avoidance. But I think what we need to do now, so the category is small. It's about $2.5 billion in the US, and it's $7.5 to $8 billion globally. So it's relatively small.
Yeah.
But it has huge potential, right? Now the animal industry, chicken, beef, pork, is 1.4 trillion. The plant-based market is like 7.5 billion. So the other thing I think, which was a false premise when this category got positioned and packaged and launched, it was against something. It was against the cattle industry, against the agricultural industry.
So it's making meat eaters feel bad.
Yeah, and I think, look, it had the wrong eye. We insulted meat eaters instead of inviting meat eaters to try our delicious products. And I think we just had the eye wrong. And I think we have to get back to, look, when you want someone to try your products, you don't judge them. And meat eaters are the target audience, and flexitarians in particular, right? And so what we want to do...
I've never heard that term. Flexitarian is basically I'd like to eat more plant-based food, but don't make me give up
you have
my
it in
bacon.
you cross.
Right.
You cross-train, you cross-drink, you cross-eat. And so I've done a lot of research in people's homes, and you look at their fridge, and my old life we launched oat milk, and you'd see oat milk and you'd see dairy milk,
right? And
you'd see Impossible and you'd see regular ground beef, and it's okay, and you kind of toggle back and forth, but it's incorporated into your life. So my point is the addressable market is 1.4 trillion. So if you had 5% of that, 10% of that, think about how big this category would be and the impact on the environment would be.
I agree, and I think what's been interesting is, given it's such a small category, why has it been plateauing and declining already? Do you think it's been a marketing challenge primarily? Because it's also expensive. I'll tell you that as somebody, it was. Maybe it was.
Yeah, listen, I think there's a lot of factors. Everyone says price. I think value. I don't think the category's done a good job of articulating why you should buy this.
Yep.
Right? And if everyone knew it was zero cholesterol and 50% less saturated fat and a good source of protein and iron and vitamin B, and knew all the planet benefits, which is hard to articulate, they would pay a slight premium. Now that gap is more narrow than ever. We've gone down about 20% in price in 2 years. The animal industry's gone up about 20% in 2 years. So we've gone down, they've gone up. We are currently less than grass-fed organic.
Okay.
But we're more than that ground chuck in the well with the cellophane, the private label stuff. We are premium to that.
Yeah.
So I prefer value, not price. The other issue is availability. So when I look at Impossible, we have 5% household penetration. So 95% of the country has yet to try an Impossible burger, because it's been around 10 years, but it's been at retail for 2. It's only been on grocery store shelves for 2 years. So we've just getting started.
What are you most proud of? I know we've talked about the tough times, but what do you think you've done for the brand that you would give yourself a pat on the back for?
Yeah, I'm not one to pat,
okay,
but
I'll pat you on the back. Okay, what have you done?
No, I think what I'm in the process of doing is a couple of simple things, right? So when you look at that low household penetration, when you look at the total distribution points, 750 out of 9,000 total distribution points. So it's a really good start, sales force. Now we're going to go get another like 8,000 points of distribution. When I look, we have 15% awareness, right? So marketing and advertising.
15%?
85% of the country has not heard of Impossible Foods.
Really?
So what excites me...
Did McDonald's have an Impossible burger at one point?
That's beyond.
Oh, oops.
And it never launched. It didn't pass the test.
The
we're at Burger
Voldemort
King.
Of plant-based food.
We're at Burger King.
You're Burger
and we're at
King.
Starbucks. Every Starbucks, 15,800 in the US, and every Burger King about 5,500.
Okay, so that's a good start.
And we're at IHOP and Applebee's, and I could go on and on. We're in United, Delta. So it's a good start. But my point is, it's a start.
Right.
So people are calling that the death of the plant-based industry, and it hasn't even really started. It's been around for a few years, and it's small, and it needs to be molded and shaped and expanded and evolved. So what I'm trying to do is position it as inclusive, not exclusive, and it's for everybody, and it's delicious, and I want to make it more available, distribution. I want more people to be aware of it, paid marketing and advertising, and I want it to be more accessible. So it's delicious food. It's not anti-cattle industry. It's not anti-this. It's not political. It's not woke. This is just good food. We're going to have it at Kroger and Walmart and Target.
Being woke?
Not me directly.
The food? I mean, look, I feel like we should acknowledge we're the under 30s. Is there a demographic? Do you think that Gen Z or young millennials are the best target market for?
They're an excellent target because they're super aware of what they imbibe and put in their bodies, number one, and they're much, much more aware of the climate.
Yeah.
So they're an excellent target,
but
and we
never
over-index.
Sell it that way.
No,
you don't want to.
We can certainly focus. Yeah, no, I think that's where it started, and I think there's not enough people that care about the planet. It's okay. This is going to be a long journey to educate people. I think this is about it's really good tasting food that's good for you because people are inherently selfish.
Yep.
And so when I talk about zero cholesterol, by the way, who likes cholesterol? Whether you're rich, poor, you live in Nebraska or Silicon Valley, cholesterol is a no-no.
Right.
So I think it's a very simple proposition. We're going to make it available everywhere, all grocery stores. It tastes good, and it's good for you.
How many times a week do you eat it?
I eat it probably 2, 3, maybe 4, depending, on my schedule.
I want to pivot.
But I'm not a vegan or a vegetarian.
No, you're a flexitarian.
I'm the target audience.
You're a target audience. It's like that commercial. I eat it too. I wear my own suits. I want to pivot a little bit to you quickly, since this is also an aspirational group of people that are here and watching this. As a marketer who's become a CEO, what's the biggest learning curve from that jump?
So I think the operational side of the business is challenging. At Chobani, most of our employees were in the factories, right? You're a food manufacturer, so you're making food, and that's complicated, right? You're making a perishable product. Here, we have factories. We're making food, so the operational supply chain side of things is challenging. Having said that, if you're curious and you put in the time and you care, you can expand into that area. It's a ridiculous thing to say like, oh, a brand person can't run a company. If you're a good leader and you're a servant leader and you're a good motivator and an inspirer, that's a good thing. And then, by the way, when you're a CEO, you still deeply care about brand and you deeply care about the reputation of the brand. And by the way, as CEO, it's all about demand.
Yeah.
If you're not growing, you're no longer going to be CEO. So a lot of that stuff just carries right in. Now you have to learn the supply chain side of things, which is learnable. It's technical, but by the way, I have a chief supply chain officer, and what I say to him all the time is, I'm not going to out chief supply chain officer you. You're paid to do that. I'm here to support you. I'm curious. I'm here to help.
Okay.
But I don't think you need to, be a head of manufacturing to be the CEO.
So if I'm talking to you, gosh, I feel like you've been here 2 years. 2 years from now, what do you hope we're talking about?
It is dog years, so it feels longer than 2.
Okay, so you're 14 years on the job.
Yeah, 14 years on the job. I'm tired, but I'm happy to be here in
Everybody
Cleveland.
wants to now be CEO of Impossible Foods, man. You're
You can have it. You can have it. It's exhausting. No,
it's been a tough 2 years.
It's super Look, we had
Are you at a pivot point?
We had to restructure the company. We had to kind of slow the cash burn down a little bit. We had to extend our cash flow. Right, it's not an easy environment to be raising.
It almost feels like a bait and switch. It's like, would you like this job?
Listen, I think it. Look, I think Impossible
officer.
is really the leader in the space.
Yep.
And Impossible needs to succeed for the category to succeed. So that's an awesome responsibility. One I'm up for. One I'm proud and honored to have. And I think it's a privilege. That said, it has been tough. A lot of these plant-based companies are small.
Yeah.
Right. So 20 of them go out of business every month or 2, right? Because it's hard to scale a food company.
If 2 years from now, are you hoping?
I like our balance sheet. I like our capital, and I like we're well capitalized with a strong balance sheet. We have a great brand and we have good products. And by the way, we're also continuously improving those products. We're not going to go iPhone 15 titanium, but we're working on Beef 3.0,
yeah.
and we're
Beef
working
3.0.
on Chicken 2.0.
When does that come out?
End of the year. And so each iteration will make it taste better, better flavor, better texture, better taste, and better nutritionals. So
sounds like a winning combination.
Yeah, so I think, look, just simplistically put, we're going to make our products better. Each incarnation, I can see 4.0, 5.0, each time getting better. And when I say better, against the animal product, not against other plant-based.
So are we there yet on the beef?
I don't think we're there yet. I think we have a really good product.
will be very close.
And I think we need to get to great.
All right, I'm going to go back to eating Impossible burgers then.
And then we're going to tell the world how good the products are, marketing and advertising paid, that 15% awareness. And then we're going to make it more accessible and available by going from 750 distribution points to thousands. So it's a very simple, this is not, people can complicate businesses. What do you do as a food manufacturer? You make, ship, and sell food.
Right.
And so I kind of just look at it through that lens. So we're going to make our products better. We're going to tell everyone how good they are. And then we're going to make them more available. It's not rocket science, otherwise I wouldn't have the job. Now, there's details in there, and it's easier said than done. There's a lot of execution in there, but those are the 3 primary things I'm going to try to do.
Well, I hope 2 years from now we're backstage and we're high-fiving each other because
it'll be a much bigger category.
It'll be a bigger category, and thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. It was good.
Thank you.
Thank you.